only are you getting fit, but now like if something pops off in the street, now all of a sudden you're like,
I've been trying
dangerous.
to pick fights already. I've been trying to pick. I say again, John Stockton is a fraud. Those numbers are baked. They're fake. Dwight Howard's numbers also fake. Chris Paul, the greatest in-game dunker we've ever seen.
The greatest in-game dunker. Maybe, as they do in Serbia, they should just dock everybody's pay. I used to love the Taco Bell, man. I would get into it. I loved it.
It's 14 5'7" Mexicans out here. Like nobody's getting up. Like your 10 feet is perfectly safe. It's fine. Jason.
Yes.
I have huge news, Jason. Huge news. But I don't think it's going to mean a ton to you because you have never suffered from this affliction in your life. This is not a thing you have suffered from.
Okay.
But it's a thing I have suffered from. And many of the 6 Trophies listeners have suffered from this as well.
Okay.
All right. So this is a medical disease that is called lippy flippy. That's what it's called, lippy flippy. Let me tell you. What it is. All right.
Yeah. It sounds serious.
It's very serious. All right. You don't know about this because you have, for your entire life, you have been a fit person. You've had a flat stomach forever, right?
That's not true.
You've lived your life with a flat stomach.
Okay.
All right. But for the rest of us, when you become an adult, Jason, an adult, you begin to develop a belly. And if that belly gets big enough, if it gains enough mass, it starts to press down on the lip of your underwear. You know, every pair of underwear has like an inch wide lip on across the top of boxer briefs or regular briefs or boxers or whatever. It's there. And if your belly gets big enough, it starts to push that on that lip until the structural integrity gives out, and then it just folds in half.
It folds down.
The front lip of your underwear is folded in half by your belly. That's lippy flippy. That's what that is. The lip of your underwear has flipped in half.
Right.
And for many years, Jason, I suffered from this. I hated it. It's the worst. It's terrible. You're going to take a shower, you take your shorts off or your pants off and you don't see the lip of your underwear. You just feel it under there. Oh man, it's folded in half again. Every time. Right? But Jason,
like a little bow bun.
Yeah. seven or so weeks ago, 8 or so weeks ago, I signed up for at a boxing gym near my house. And I've been going 3 times a week.
Wow.
Every week.
Wow.
I don't miss. I started eating healthier. Look, I got this bottle of water right here. No more sodas, only waters. and finally, Jason, the affliction is over. The lip of my underwear no longer full. I still have a thank you, Zuri.
Hey!
Mind you, I still have a belly. It's still there, but it's not flipping the lip anymore.
It's not the hard. It's not
hanging.
It's not that hanging belly. Now let me ask you this.
Yeah. Okay.
The lip flipped underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to iron it back down? Or do you just throw those out? Those are done and you have to get new ones?
I have a lot of respect for the underwear. Because when you wash them, it pops back into place, ready to try again. It's ready to try to hold that belly up. But it always gives
Sisyphus.
up. Yeah. My underwear has been talking shit about me for many years now. This fucking guy, I always got to try to hold this belly up, and I can't do it. But no more, Jason. No more. It's gone.
I lost like 40 pounds.
What?
Over the course of this is like maybe 8 years ago now, but over the course of a year or so, I lost like 40 pounds.
No way.
What I did was
I knew you 8 years ago.
Yeah, but it's happened in your mind. It's happened gradually. I went through a period where I was like crushing Ben and Jerry's at night. And that's, folks out there, that's the killer. Snack food at night. That's how it happens. And so I just, I didn't go to a gym. I just I just dieted really unhealthily for like crash diet for like 7
just
months.
not gonna eat for 3 days. Like
like that's what I did. And usually that doesn't work, but it actually worked. And then I managed to like maintain that level. But I just like crashed. I like was like, I was not having the lippy flippy, but I was happy. I was having the belly button peekaboo, where shirts
I'm familiar.
that used to cover, the entire torso, bottom torso, and drop over the belt line. Now we're like, not getting all the way down, and the belly button was like, "Hey, what's up?" When you like reach for something, or go to scratch your neck, the belly button would be like, "Hi, I'm here. Remember me? I see sunshine." And and so I just went on a very, very unhealthy crash diet for a series of months, and then that took care of it.
Well, there you go. You did it.
I wish I had done it your way, because you are getting utility. Not only are you getting fit, but now like if something pops off in the street, now all of a sudden you're like,
I've been trying
dangerous.
to pick fights already. I've been trying to pick fights. I have been trying. So what'd you say? You looked at
say something? What?
You know what I have in my head too? I have in my head all the time, because I have no idea what I'm doing. When I go to the gym, I'm just punching shit. I have no idea what's going on. The coaches try to help you. They're really good coaches, right? But across the spectrum of things, I have no idea what's going on. 7-8 weeks is not enough time to really learn. And so, anytime I like feel the urge to like, I want to put my boxing skills into use, I think about in Boogie Nights, when Mark Wahlberg's character gets mad at Burt Reynolds' character, and they start shoving each other, and he goes, I fucking know Kung Fu, man. As like a threat. But he doesn't. And that's what I hear in my head. I fucking know boxing, man. Like, you don't know, but I know.
Let me ask you this, because I had a long cold open. Yeah, I know, because I'm interested in it. I had a brief flirtation with, maybe I should take a boxing class. And then I was like, what am I doing? No, I don't want to do it. But one of the things I told the coach guy, when I was having a conversation with him about maybe doing it, was like, listen, I don't ever want to spar or fight or anything. I just want to learn the moves and like exercise that way and hit the bags. And, you have the mittens, the big mittens, and I hit the big mittens. That's all. But I don't want to go in the ring, headgear, nothing. Like, I don't want to do any of that. Are you going to spar at any point?
Oh, I want to fight right now. I want to challenge every single person that I meet. Let's get in the ring. I'm ready. Any listeners right now, if you want to fight me, I will happily get in that ring with you.
You know how you do it? Here's what you do. You're hanging out, you're in an outdoor space or any kind of space. You see somebody that I want to fight that guy. And you could just go up and you go, hey, did you drop this? This is an audio podcast, so people can't. The YouTube people know, but you go, hey, did you drop this? And then you just bring your middle finger up,
and that's it. That's all.
And that's it. And then he goes, what the fuck? And then you go, square up. Let's go.
That's how dumb guys are. That's all you got to do to get them to fight you. Oh, goodness. We should start the show, Jason. It's 8 minutes in.
All right, I'm sorry.
Let's start the show from Wondery. I'm Shea Serrano.
And I'm Jason Concepcion.
And we are no longer lippy flippies. Also, this is 6 trophies.
Hello, I'm Jason Concepcion, and welcome to 6 Trophies, a podcast series hosted by myself and Ding Ding, Shea Serrano, in which we comb through all the NBA news from the past week and then hand out 6 pop culture trophies for 6 basketball-related activities in this episode. Chris Paul skies over Jason Kidd. Lu Dort's defense. What happened? And John Morant went back on a promise. All that and more. Let's hand out some trophies.
Bum, 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 bum. We did 2 sets of trophies, the big trophies and the little trophies. The big trophies are first. These ones are the same every week. First up, the Denzel Washington and Training Day trophy given out to whoever it is who had the best overall performance of the week. This week's winner, Chris Paul, CP3, for passing Jason Kidd on the all-time NBA assist list. He's up to number 2, Jason. There's only one guy ahead of him.
That's Jonathan Stockton, and I don't think he's going to catch him, but I'll say this. Jason Kidd, don't you regret retiring now? You should have stuck it out. You should have stuck it out, my guy. Look what happened.
I'm very happy that this happened.
You tell me he can't still be out there just like real old, just moving it on the perimeter. Just moving it, swinging it around.
I'm very happy that this happened with Chris Paul in a San Antonio Spurs jersey. This is great. We get to claim him as part of the history now. We got and it was to Wemby. The pass to pass
huge
was to Wemby. Come on,
it's like the bridge between the past and the future. It's amazing.
Symbolism, baby.
It's amazing.
Symbolism.
Now, he will probably not catch Stockton.
No.
Stockton at 15,806. Chris Paul sitting at 12,099. So just under 12,100. Here's the issue, though. As has come up recently, there was a lot of home cooking in the league throughout the 80s and 90s. Utah has been called out specifically for inflating of stats of all types. Do we think Johnny Stock's numbers are filled with a little bit of hot, like cut with something, little baby powder in there?
I think they're invalid. I'm with it. I think they are invalid.
Completely take them out.
Take them out. I think at most, John Stockton had 9,000 assists.
Okay.
At most. So he's done. Knock him off. Chris Paul, the all-time assist leader across the history of the NBA. Congratulations.
Yay.
Congratulations, CP3.
Chris Paul feels like one of those players who, and it feels like it's already happening, where you were kind of going to forget how awesome they were because they never got to the mountaintop and were never on a really, really like incredible team that was in the mix for a period of time. Like he's always obviously been really good, but then the injuries at the wrong moments have always bedeviled him. Great run with the Clippers, obviously. But it feels like we're going to forget how good Chris Paul was quickly. I think that's sad.
It does feel like that. It does feel like that. He didn't do the thing that Iverson did, where he just sort of grabbed a hold of everything. And that was the only person you could think about or talk about. Right? Allen Iverson didn't need to win a championship for his legacy to be any different than what it is. Like you could say he won a championship in 2001. You don't think of Allen Iverson any differently than you do if you say Chris Paul. Chris Paul in 2018 doesn't get injured. They're up 3-1 against the Warriors in the conference finals. His hamstring does what his hamstring does, and then they end up losing that series, right? But if you go, oh well, actually they won that championship. I think his career does become a little bit louder. But you're right. It feels like how incredible he was. We're talking about at worst the 5th or 6th best point guard of all time. At worst. Yeah, at worst. That's who Chris Paul is. No, you can't name 6 players who have played the point guard position better than Chris Paul ever across the history of basketball. You just can't do it. And and I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit scared that what you're saying is going to happen is actually going to happen. Because you and I watched the entirety of his career, all 20 years we've watched, and we've been like, fuck, this guy is incredible. He's unbelievable. And In 10 years, me and you are going to be arguing with some 22-year-old. They're going to be like talking shit about Chris Paul the way that 22-year-olds right now talk shit about Shaq. And we're like, hey, fuck you, I'll fucking kill you. That's what's going to happen with Chris Paul.
He led the league in assists 5 times, led the league in steals 6 times. He is, finished in MVP top 5 voting, I don't know, 5, 6 times. He is also like an archetype that I feel like doesn't exist anymore, which is the quote unquote pure point guard, like the 6-foot guy who could shoot, who could pass, and who quarterbacked your team. He didn't look for his first, but looked to get everybody involved and make the right play every single time. And then, of course, if he needed to score 20, he absolutely could score 20. Just an incredible player for a long time. And at his size, you don't see like 6', 6'1" players play for 20 years. That doesn't really happen. And he did that because he's obviously incredibly talented, but also has that bag of tricks. The bag of dirty tricks that has allowed him to elongate his career. And you need, if you're not like 6'5", then you need that bag of tricks in order to keep yourself in the league. And in terms of like guys that are playing today that have played during our lifetime, I don't know that anybody has a deeper bag of like dark arts tricks than Chris Paul, the flops, the cells, and I'm saying this as praising him, like the little fouls and kicks and all the little things he does. He's incredible.
I remember one of the first things I read about Chris Paul, this was in Slam magazine, my beloved Slam magazine, the best basketball magazine that's ever existed. There was a profile in there about him, and they were talking about when he was in high school and his grandfather had gotten murdered.
Yeah, man, what a story.
At 61 years old. So Chris decides he's going to go out in a game and score 61 points. And he does it. And he has a chance to score more than that and then just intentionally missed a free throw to be like, no, I want 61 because that's how old my grandfather was. But like that was, in my head, that's the first Chris Paul thing I remember.
Same. I remember that.
And then he gave us hell in the playoffs when they played the Spurs. Just watching him, there was a whole, remember it was like Chris Paul or Darren Williams was a debate for a little while. I was living in Houston when he showed up to Houston, and everyone was like, "Well, the Rockets might win a championship now." Like that's what they're doing now. And so just to have him in San Antonio for this season has been really cool to see him in person. It's been really cool to watch him like imprint himself onto the younger players in the team. And so I say again, John Stockton is a fraud. Those numbers are baked. They're fake. Chris Paul is the greatest to ever do it.
Is he the best guy to never win a title? To have not won a title?
I think I still go Iverson.
Okay.
I think I still go Iverson.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's true or not, is the thing.
I don't know if it's true either.
Iverson is Iverson is just so cool that he's like a planet in my head. Yeah. You know, Chris Paul, if we're being just aliens who can only see objectivity, I think you could say he's a better basketball player. Yeah, I think you can say that fairly.
For sure.
But I don't know if I can make myself say it. All right, one more question before we move on to the next trophy. Do you have a favorite Chris Paul play? One play.
Not really. And I think it kind of explains his game, which is like my favorite era of him was the Clippers era with Blake. Because
Lob City, baby.
But again, those were plays that he set up for Blake and other people and DeAndre with that fucking crazy dunk. And he was always setting up other people and he had great moments. But I think it's indicative of what kind of a like special guy he is, and also kind of why we maybe will forget about him. Honestly, that the 61-point game, which is on video, you can watch it like on YouTube. You can go and watch it. There's like VHS video of it. is the first thing that I knew about him, and is probably the most indelible. But like NBA moments, it's hard to pick one. Do you have one?
I have a least favorite, and that's when he hit the Game 7 game winner over Tim Duncan when the Clippers and Spurs were playing. That was awful. It was a horrible day for me. That's my least favorite one. For my favorite, the first one I think of is the dunk he had over Dwight Howard, where everyone was like, holy fucking shit. I didn't even know he could do that. He just into the lane. Go look it up on YouTube if you don't remember what I'm talking about. And he just fucking dunks it on Dwight Howard. Not like barely gets it past him, dunks it on him. In all caps, dunks it on him. There's that one. I'm
watching it right now. Let's see.
Okay, watch it right now.
The title is When Chris Paul Dunked on Dwight Howard in 2006.
Yeah, baby.
I was not aware that
I love a little guy dunking on a big guy.
I do love that. And this is always, let's see, here we go. Oh yeah, he got him. Well,
good dunk, right?
He got by him and got him. Hey, let me ask you this. So I do count it because it is a little guy on a big guy. That said, it was like he got by him and then dunked.
No, he's right there with him. He's right there with him. And it's an and one. And it's an and one. I'll tell you this. Dwight Howard's numbers also fake. Chris Paul, the greatest in-game dunker we've ever seen.
The greatest in-game dunker.
No, that's the first one I think of. But there's another one that I remember watching it. I was like watching the game on League Pass, and it was when they were playing. He was playing against the Jazz, and he's on a fast break. It's when he's in with the Clippers. He's on a fast break. Blake is the trailer, and so everybody at this point is like, watch out for Blake. We know he's going to drop the ball off for Blake. Something terrible is going to happen. It's Chris Paul. There's a defender in front of him. And he gets into the lane and he drops, sure enough, the ball between his legs backwards toward Blake. And the defender panics and like doesn't know what to do. But Chris Paul, rather than let the ball go to Blake, grabs it back with his other hand then it's fucking beautiful. It's so good. It's so good that he just thought, I'm gonna take what they're most afraid of and use it against them right here to get a wide open layup. It's such a cool little play.
One of the smartest players we've ever seen.
Oh my God, he's
genius.
Top 2 or 3.
Yeah,
top 2 or 3. It's like it's him and LeBron and somebody else I'm not thinking of. Yeah. Like that's who it is. The smartest to ever do it. Next trophy, the Lauryn Hill. You might win some, but you just lost one trophy given out to whoever it is who had the worst overall performance of the week. This week's winner, the Denver Nuggets, for being super sucky. As the Joker dominates, he's just destroying everything, and everybody else is awful.
The on-offs are insane. It's like the numbers, the advanced numbers with Jokic on the floor they're like offensively like a top 10 team. When he's off the court, they're like the worst team in basketball. and it's concerning because how long are we going to have of Joker being this good? I will say that one thing about Joker is I think he's going to have a long tail end of his prime.
I think so too.
Because it's not like he's skying over guys and speeding down the court. That said, in one of my basketball chats, they like put a clip of Joker from the game Sunday against the Clippers, and it's Joker he's trying to run back down the court like on defense, and he looks like he's ambling in a weird. He's running very hard, but also his gait is like an egg, kind of like an egg rolling end over end, like down a hill, and it left me concerned. That said, I think he's going to have a long career. I just want to see you hope that they can put the pieces around him to have him competitive in the way the Spurs did to elongate Timmy's career.
Can I give you some numbers?
Sure, please.
Here are the Joker's last 5 games, very quickly. 28, 14, and 11.
Pretty good.
38, 10, 6, and 5.
Okay.
27, 20, and 11.
Yeah, he's good.
56, 16, and 8.
That was scary.
48, 14, and 8. And over that stretch, they lost more games than they won.
Yeah, the 56, it was scary because that was a loss to the Wizards.
To the Wizards. They
the
lost
Czars.
by 9.
He had 56. 16 rebounds, 8 assists, a steal, career high. And they lost to the Wizards. That is not good. And the Wizards, obviously are a team that has struggled to win any games and has been blown out more than any team in the NBA. That is concerning. And that is also the game in which Jokic suggested that maybe, as they do in Serbia, they should just dock everybody's pay.
You didn't perform well, you don't get all your check. You didn't play up to your capabilities, we're not going to pay you up to your capabilities.
Yeah.
I don't
hey, listen, I get it. I understand the frustration, to which I would say, when's Calvin Booth, GM of the Denver Nuggets, taking a pay cut? When's he taking one? When's he turning his salary in?
You know what I really just love is the pettiness of NBA fan bases. Because after the Joker scored 56 games and they lost to the Wizards, immediately, Luka fans, Maverick fans, were like, "Hey, just want to point out the Nuggets the Nuggets have lost every game that the Joker has scored 50 or more points, and the Mavericks have won every game that Luka has scored 50 or more points." I just want to point that out. Just want to throw that out there. I love it. I love being petty. It's great.
He's incredible. He's the best player in the league. I think he's proving it right now. And there's 5 players on a court at a given time on a team, and you need all of them to be playing well. This is rough stuff. They're 7th in the West, with Joker playing at an MVP level, 5-5 over the last 10. And they've got to start stringing together wins now, because the West is a fucking axe murderer's row. It's not a place you want to be at the bottom in.
No, it is not. If you were in a position to do something about this, would you trade Jamal Murray?
I don't think you can. I just think you made a bet to roll with the core guys, the most important guys. So that's obviously Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray. And what you really need now is Jamal Murray to just play well. And we've said it before, like before the injury stuff, he's always kind of been shaky in the regular season, and then turns it to another, like, hit every shot level in the playoffs, where it's just like, oh my God, this guy's a house on fire. And you kind of push the slow starts out of your mind. Now it's kind of evened out, where he didn't play that great in the playoffs, and it's stretched into the regular season, where he is always kind of, it's generally accepted that he kind of struggles. He just needs to be better. It's like the Mikal Bridges situation in New York, where he just has to play better. And I don't know what you do. I think you had to stick with Jamal. Unless something that is a definite upgrade emerges, I think you have to just roll with this.
Last question before we move on for the Joker stuff. If he finishes his career, he's 10 years in, if he finishes his career with one title, just the one, did he overachieve? Did he underachieve? Or did he do what he was supposed to do?
I think if you're a champion, you're a champion. Obviously, it's a different level if you get multiple, but it's so hard to win that one. It's so hard. I mean, as we're seeing now, like, you could be the best player in the league, and if you don't have the guys around you, and the CBA changes and the landscape changes, and then all of a sudden new players coming in all the time, people catch up. It's hard. And so I think the fact that they did win it, I don't want to say overachieved, but he's just elevated himself into a class of players that is clearly, like, greatest ever in the pantheon, like the above the Hall of Fame, the guys that you talk about, like Bird, Magic, Hakeem, Michael Jordan, like, you talk about those guys. He's in that group. You talk about him like that. So I think he's achieved something special with that title.
Okay.
I think he gets another one.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I think he's that good. And
I'll take that bet.
I think he gets another one. Yeah.
Next trophy. The Dominic Toretto I Live My Life a Quarter Mile at a Time trophy, given out to whoever it is who made a short-term decision with no regard for future consequence. This week's winner, Lu Dort. Anytime he's closing out on a jump shot, he's just like, fuck it.
Go
Let's
hard.
go for it. Oh my God. I'm tired of saying it, Jason.
The latest person to fall victim to the envelope pushing of Lu Dort is Brandon Ingram, who's suffered a severe ankle injury after landing on Lu Dort's foot. I'll say this. I do think Dort is a menace, but I also think he's like an archetype of a defensive player who you kind of can't be a defensive difference maker unless you play on the edge, and sometimes you're going to go over the edge. That said, the foot stuff I thought that they had tried to clean up. Like I thought that landing space specifically was supposed to be like a point of emphasis. So I'm just a little confused on why there hasn't been. It still seems to be a problem. That said, Lu Dort, the guy's like. He looks like a free safety, and he comes at you with extreme force, is in your landing space, in your space, all shoulders and elbows, and his compilation of guys who have gotten hurt because his body has smashed into them is extensive.
Yeah, when you have a whole thing on YouTube of just you know what I mean? Yeah. Just clips of things happening is when it starts to feel a little bit like, all right, let's chill out. I get that there's a distinction between like when it happens with him, because he's such an inside of your jersey defender, right? That it's sort of impossible for it to never happen. It's going to happen. So there's a distinction between somebody like that versus like Zaza Pachulia, who would just get under you on purpose. Like clearly that's what he was trying to do. This, when it happens with Lu Dort, it does feel a little bit different. But then also you watch the clips and you're like, the clips like when you're like, your foot doesn't go there when you do that. Like that doesn't happen. You shot it and then you tripped Luka. Like that doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
Now, in defense of Lu Dort, who I agree, the clips are concerning. Mm-hmm. That said, I think anytime you string together a compilation of clips, like if you put together a compilation that was just us last episode saying big booty poop, I think people would be like, what the fuck is going on this podcast, right? They don't understand the scope of it. They don't understand the full context. So I think it puts him in a bad light to view that.
It does.
For instance, how do you feel about Bruce Bowen, noted defensive specialist?
I was about to bring him up. Yeah,
a guy who I think many would argue used landing space as a tactic to unnerve shooters. I'm not going to say he tried to injure guys, but I think it's pretty clear to me that he wanted guys to think when they go up for that shot, where am I going to come down? He wanted people thinking about anything else except the rim and the shot. Yeah. What is your view of him?
I feel like when this is a sort of cliched argument, but when he's on your team, you're like, okay, that's all right.
You need a guy like that.
You need a guy like that. When he's not on your team, you're like, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. There's a play. So the one that was going around when the Thunder and the Mavericks played, where Lu Dort is shooting a three and Luka's running by to contest it, and Lu Dort very clearly just puts his foot out there and trips him. Luka goes for a tumble, right? There was almost an identical play when the Spurs and Pistons played in the finals. Chauncey Billups on offense, drives in, lays it up, gets called, Bruce Bowen gets called for a foul. But as Chauncey is like watching to see if the ball goes in, Bruce Bowen very clearly puts his foot out there so that Chauncey can fall down. Yeah. And when it happened in real time, I remember being like, yeah, get him, Bruce. Let him know there's no, it's not free. You know what I mean? In hindsight, you're like, nah, that's probably shit. That's a very shitty thing to do. But in the moment, I wonder. I am curious what do Thunder fans think about this?
I personally feel like if we're going on a fast break, right? Turnover, you're down on the floor, you stick the foot out, you trip the guy. It's obviously not ideal, but that's not a big deal. Like, that's not a big deal. To me, a big deal is like foot under a guy when he's jumping.
Yeah, that's no good.
That's
no good.
Pushing a guy in the air. That's the kind of stuff that like is, I think, generally and rightfully frowned upon. But listen, you grab a guy's shorts when he's trying to run by you, stick your foot out, that kind of thing. That's like, it happens. Everybody does that stuff.
Welcome to the Dorture Chamber. I forget who came up with that nickname. Fucking cool ass nickname. The Dorture Chamber. Next trophy.
We say again here at Six Trophies, more cool nicknames and put them in use. Like, they got to get used.
Yes. Do it. Next trophy, the Daniel Plainview. I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my boy trophy, which is given out to whoever it is who temporarily gave up on something. This week's winner, Ja Morant, who said, I'm not dunking anymore. And then immediately gave up on that promise and then dunked it. just did an outstanding, incredible, holy shit dunk.
Yeah.
Look at Ja Morant. I'm so happy that he's back playing basketball. We lost a whole year of Ja Morant, basically.
We basically did. Here is Ja Morant, December 4th, after the team lost to the Mavericks, 121-116. He was asked about, not skying as much as he has in the past. And he says, I'm not trying to dunk at all. Y'all think I'm lying. I'm dead serious. And he's basically saying, like, for health reasons, as a smaller guard, I think we all kind of feel like there's a counter somewhere with the maximum number of jumps that every person has in their life, and it's like an odometer, and he's not trying to like run that odometer. And then of course, because like, what is it, like 4 days later?
3 days later.
He has an unbelievable, like, Jordan-esque
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter-esque
double clutch backwards.
Unbelievable cool dunk against the Celtics. I'm happy to see him go against his own promise.
It was really neat to see the dunk happens, and then immediately Rob Perez, who's like a basketball vault of knowledge, was like, that's the same dunk Vince Carter did on Chris Mullin and who was it, the Duncan Dutchman against the Pacers and whatever. And then just and then lined up the two clips next to each other. And he was exactly right. It looked exactly the same. Just jumps up on one side of the rim. Defender comes, brings the ball down. He's going backwards now.
He's going backwards.
Dunks it on the other side. It was a dunk that only Ja Morant can do in the NBA right now, and that Vince Carter did 15, 20 years ago, and it's great.
Now, I'll say one thing. I think that this is a low-impact dunk. This is not like the other Ja Morant dunks where he's coming down full speed, on the fast break off one leg. Guys are in the area. This is like he goes off at 2 and comes down on 2, and there's really no, like, he's threading between guys. So I think if Ja wants to amend his promise, he should be like, I'm not trying to dunk anymore, but I will do low impact dunks. Like how they do like non-alcoholic beer or like low calorie soda. I think he should start just doing low impact dunks off at 2 feet, land on 2 feet, no contact. And I think we would all gladly accept that. I accept
it. But yeah, he said he wasn't dunking anymore, and I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. And then he did this, and I was like, oh, thank God he's a liar.
Good.
Thank God he's a liar.
Good.
He's back, baby. It reminded me of when I'm like, I'm not eating Taco Bell no more. And then 11 o'clock rolls around, and I get a little bit hungry. I'm like, you know what I need? Nacho Supreme. That's what I need.
I'm telling you, Shay, that's how it got me too.
That's how the lippy tippy happens.
That's how the lippy flippy. After 9, 10 o'clock, if you're like, God, I'm hungry, go to fucking sleep. Go to bed. Don't do it. Don't get into the cupboards. Don't get into the freezer. Don't get into the DoorDash. Don't do it.
Have you ever had Taco Bell during the day?
Yeah, of course.
Fucking horrible. It's awful. But at 11 o'clock at night?
I got to tell you, I haven't made a run for the border in a while. But I used to love the Taco Bell, man. I would get into it. I loved it. Love Taco Bell. Mexican pizza from Taco Bell.
Oh, that's a good one.
Drink.
Mexican pizza. Chicken gordita supreme with no tomatoes. Give it to me. Bean and cheese burrito. Bean and cheese burrito. No red sauce, no onions, please. Extra cheese. Oh, fuck. I'm about to order that for lunch now.
I might do it. I was just thinking that. I might do it.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Next trophy. The Chief Keef, that's that shit I don't like trophy, which is given out to whoever it is that does something and we just don't like it. We don't like it. This week's winner, the New York Post, for the stupid picture. For the picture that they used in a story talking about Adrian Wojnarowski's cancer diagnosis. What are you doing? Just a horrible picture. Just find a nice picture. Come on.
Find a nice picture of the guy? So it was Woj in a recent interview talked about his prostate cancer diagnosis, and he's stressed that he's fine now. And later on social media was like, I appreciate all the kind words. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. But he talked about it as how it was certainly a major factor in his decision to leave ESPN, stating that, time isn't an endless supply. He wanted to be with his family, spend quality time with his family. Touching story, and we wish Adrian well. And the picture that the New York Post, New York area rag that you see on the subway every day if you take the subway, the picture and our YouTube page, I'm sure we'll easily see it. It'll be included there. But if you're not on the YouTube, just go ahead and Google the New York Post story. Adrian Wojnarowski reveals cancer diagnosis after stunning ESPN exit. And the picture is of Woj, appears to be maybe at a Laker game. Yes, at crypto.com. And it is as if his doctor is across the court and is screaming at him, Woj, I got your chest back. And he looks like surprised and shocked and a little disheveled. And it's like, use a nice picture of the guy. Why is this the picture?
He's Woj. Use a nice picture.
He's a human being who's revealing that he had cancer. Could you use a nice picture of the guy? Why are you using this not good picture? I guarantee you, if I did this or any of us did this, posted a picture of a loved one where they looked like this to like our Instagram or Facebook, we would be in trouble. Don't do that.
Yes.
What are you doing?
You would get a call from your mom.
Why did you post that picture? Why did you post that picture?
Why? Why that one?
Where I look like someone screamed at me and I dropped my gordita supreme. Like, why are you doing that?
First
New York
of all,
Post, get it together. I feel like they must not like the guy because this is a terrible picture.
Terrible picture. Fuck.
What are you doing?
Cancer. Fuck
Come on,
cancer.
Yeah, terrible.
Ugh.
Have some human decency.
That he was saying he was okay. That was like,
yes,
because cancer is horrifying, terrifying. It's just the worst thing. And so that sucked. And then the picture was like, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah,
we hate this immediately.
Come on, guys.
Immediately we hate this.
Why are you doing that?
Next trophy. The Haley Joel Osment in the Sixth Sense I See Dead People trophy. Given out to the best comeback of the week. This week's winner. Oh, he's returned. Joel Embiid is back, baby. He's back. Shows up, scores 31, 12, and 4 with 2 blocks in a win over the Bulls. His first game back after 7 absences. He's back.
Don't look now, but they have 4 wins out of their last 5.
Mm-hmm.
He had 31 points, 13, 28, 12 rebounds, 4 assists in a win over the Bulls. It was the Bulls, but still. Don't look now, but all of a sudden, we've given the Sixers a lot of stick, and rightfully so, because they've stunk it up. But if Joel's going to play that way, and you hope that Paul George can put it together on a consistent basis, then obviously This is a team that is dangerous. So shouts to Joel for putting in the work, getting out there and putting up some Joel Embiid type numbers.
How horrible it must be, how frustrating it must be to want to play basketball and your body just is like, we're going to sit this one out.
I don't know. I wish I knew what that was like just for a minute, because every time I ask myself and I ask my body to just go all out, it does. I get out on the court and I'm like, just one time, get me. I need to dunk this one. And it's just like, okay. Every time it answers the call. So I don't know what it's like, but it must be heartrending. It must be really tough.
When was the last time you played basketball?
Seriously? Like hard?
Like,
just got it. Yeah. I mean, it's a long time.
Like a game of 21 or whatever.
I mean, like a really, really long time. Like I can't remember. I was probably in my 20s sometime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like I haven't done it at a certain point I was just like, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
It's like, just to show people that like, hey, I could have made the league. Look at this. That stuff grows old after a while, where you're just like living for the accolades of others to go, wow, that guy is incredible. Why isn't he in the league? That stuff gets old. I don't need to hear that anymore. So I haven't done it in a while. What about you? When was the last time you really played hard?
I play pretty regularly because my youngest son, the baby, is on the basketball team now. This is his first year. He tried out for the school basketball team. He made it, and he had his first game on Saturday. But because he wanted to get like practice before then, we started playing. And when I first started back playing, I was terrible. I could barely, after like 10 seconds of running, I was like, ugh, I'm done. But now I'm back, baby. And I can run for easily 35 seconds. Easily 35 seconds.
So what do you play? Do you play like half court 21 or half court 211?
Yeah, we play 21.
Winners outs, losers outs?
We play 21 if it's more than two people, but it's an odd number. Sometimes if it's just me and him, we'll play 1-on-1. Sometimes his brother comes. His brother's really good. His older twin brother is the best basketball player in the house. Like he could dunk it, which is we're playing different. We're playing different games.
Yeah, okay, that's yeah, we're done at that point.
So whenever he shows up to play, it's like, all right, well, we're gonna get beat. Whoever's on my team, we're losing this game. But I'm a solid third place in the house.
Okay.
Third out of 5.
Do you remember the first time that you were playing pickup and somebody dunked in the game?
Yes. I remember his name is Cricket. It was at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio.
Oh, damn.
And he just fucking got the ball on a fast break, threw it up off the backboard, caught it, and dunked it. And I was like, I'm going to go home. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's how Man, I was at the Jerusalem Avenue Green, where the Jerusalem Pool is on Long Island, in Nassau County, Long Island, Levittown. And we were playing pickup there. The rims famously were like 9.5. So guys that could get up liked it because they could dunk even more ferociously than they could normally dunk. And we were playing like 3-on-3. I was having a good game. I hit a 3 over a guy in that game. I'll never forget it. And I acted like, fuck yeah, like I do this all the time. I think it was the one shot I took. No, excuse me. So I hit the 3, and then I came like several plays later. I went to shoot another 3, skied it over the rim, but this guy came baseline, caught my air ball, and slammed it. And swung on the rim and everything. And I was like, wow. Holy shit. And I was like, let me get off this court expeditiously after this game. And I got to go home, guys. Bye.
Yeah. I love a low rim. There's when I was growing up, there's a school called Sun Valley Elementary that was a couple blocks from the house. And they had 8-foot rims there. So we would like climb the gate and go play there because we could dunk it. Yeah. And that was awesome. Opposite of that, though, there was a court in this neighborhood called Heritage Park. And when they built it, they made the rims 11 feet because they didn't want people dunking on it and hanging on the rim. And it's like, guys, it's 14, 5'7" Mexicans out here. Like nobody's getting up. Like your 10 feet is perfectly safe. It's fine. It was the worst court to play on.
I mean, there should be. Yeah, let's do them.
Oh wait, go ahead. Say it. Whatever
I was just
going to
say. There should be 7.5 foot rim basketball leagues for for 5 foot
6 and
3
under,
to 5 foot 7 Mexicans and Asians.
Oh yes. 5'7". We're getting rid of 6 foot and under. 5'7" and under.
That's it.
Oh, that's all. And Tom the rims Cruise are 7.5 feet. You got to be able to look Tom Cruise in the eyes to play in this league. These are. Let's do the little trophies. These will change each week and are situation specific. They're for the smaller storylines that we want to mention, but don't need to get all the way into. My first little trophy. The Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones and Men in Black. Hey, is it worth it? Oh yeah, it's worth it. If you're strong enough, trophy. That goes to Jaylen Brown, who dunked on Isaiah Stewart, then made the throat slash gesture, and then got an email and said, "Hey, you owe us $25,000." I think a throat slash gesture after a dunk is worth it. $25,000, sure.
Oh yeah.
He has never looked cooler in his life than when he dunked on Isaiah Stewart and then stood there and did a throat slash. That's cool. That's fucking cool. $25,000, well spent, Jaylen Brown. I love post-championship Jaylen Brown, by the way. Love it.
We haven't been able to do the throat slash since like the late 90s. Jazz, Houston Rockets. Like
it's cool.
Listen, I get why they took it out, but sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm going to pay for this one. I like that you have to pay for it.
Bring it back.
I think you should have to pay it on camera after the game. That would be really cool.
Like they just collect it from you right there.
They come out like when the waiter comes out with the credit card scanner to your table. I think they should. I think Adam Silver should come out with the little credit card scanner while Jaylen Brown is doing the post game, and then he should have to take out a credit card and swipe it right there. $25,000. My first little trophy is the Chance the Closer, cling, 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 man, you capping trophy to Tim Chalamet and a recently emerged nugget of New York basketball history. So this has been posted recently. Apparently, back in 2010, Landry Fields, along with then Knicks rookie Andy Routens, Canadian legend Andy Routens, said, "Hey, we're gonna be in the city somewhere tonight. If you find us and answer the trivia questions, you will get tickets to the game." Well, guess who found them at Grand Central Station and answered the questions? Tim Chalamet. The follow-up tweet was, haha, the contest is over. Tim Chalamet is the winner. Found us at Ground Central. Congrats, Tim. See you Friday at the game. And the Knicks beat the Wizards. They got the win, which was not a for sure thing back in the 2010 Mike D'Antoni era. What a cool little sports nugget. Tim Chalamet, cool. Sports guy.
When I saw this, I was going to give it a little trophy. Also, I was going to give it the Timothy Chalamet and Lady Bird. That's hella tight trophy. But you beat me to it. So I had to do a different one. I'm doing another trophy, my next little trophy. The Andy Samberg in Palm Springs. It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about. Trophy. That trophy goes to Mike Brown, who in a post-game press conference repeated, quote, possession after possession after possession after possession 26 times in a row. And I want to hear all of them. Zuri, can you play the clip?
We just need to be methodical by stacking or playing the right way, possession after possession after possession after possession after possession.
It's incredible
possession,
commitment
possession,
to the bit.
After possession after possession after possession after possession.
We're not even halfway there yet.
After possession after possession after possession after possession.
He's saying this in real life.
After possession, after possession.
He's just going.
After possession, after possession, after possession, after possession, after possession.
Oh my God.
After possession, after possession. You guys got what I'm saying.
We got what you're saying, Mike. We got it. We got it.
It's like those edits of the Glorilla song where they just of What You Know About Me, where they just do My second little trophy is the Lynyrd Skynyrd guitar solo in Freebird. To trophy 2 to the Celtics fan who tried to go off the backboard at halftime of the Celtics game. Let me tell you, that guy, you know for a fact, he surprised some people in pickup. They got yammed because he got up there. And as many have pointed out, in fucking jeans after sitting through a half of basketball. That might be one of the greatest athletic feats we've ever seen. Sitting in a seat, watching a basketball game, probably crushing like a hot dog or whatever, chicken fingers, drinking a beer, then to go down in jeans and a belt and get up to the rim. I love it. I loved what I saw. I loved the confidence. He didn't make the dunk, but you know what? This one gets a participation trophy.
All right. I'm in. My last little trophy. The Sarah Jessica Parker and Sex and the City is hideous. I hate it. It hurts my eyes trophy. To Jordan Poole for his drowning in the pool 3-point celebration. I hate it.
Nuts.
I hate it.
It's a lot.
I hate it. What are you doing?
It's how would you describe it? How would you describe the movement?
What I don't get is he pinches his nose.
Yeah.
If you're drowning, you're not going to pinch your nose. But he pinches his nose. No, you're not going to do it. Waves the other arm in the air. It doesn't make any sense. Just work on it a little bit if you're going to do it. I get the idea behind it.
You don't think that he has significantly worked on it?
I think he has, but it needs more time. It needs more time. How far we have fallen from when he was the third member of the Splash Brothers to now drowning in the pool celebrations that don't make any sense. I hate it.
It's really rough.
It hurts my eyes.
My last little trophy is the John Baptiste Garfield movie theme song. With a little bit of love and a little bit of time, I found out what was true. Oh, I got the good life. I got the good life. Trophy 2. To Karl Anthony Towns, to the Bodega Cat, who in the only game that was being played in the National Basketball Association last night, Knicks Raptors iced the game with a huge quick trigger three. He wasn't even
great moment. Great moment.
He wasn't even really open. It was just like he's just big and has incredible mechanics, and then demonstrative pointing, John Starks like pointing at the New York on the jersey saying New fucking York. Oh my God, I loved it. I went crazy. I was screaming in my house, pounding on the sofa. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I think when you're 7 feet tall at the 3-point line, you're always open. You can get it up. You can get it up. We did it again, Jason.
We did it again.
Another perfect episode. 61 in a row. 61, just like Chris Paul scored.
Yeah.
For his grandfather. Oh, the great Chris Paul. We close every episode just by saying the names of underappreciated old basketball players with no context at all, while the theme music carries us out. Zuri, will you play the theme music, please? I'm Shea Serrano. That's Jason Concepcion. Producer Zuri in the shadows making the noises. See y'all next week. Nate McMillan.
Ooh. Did all animal themed. Glenn, Big Dog. Robinson. Boilermaker legend. Bucks legend. Spurs legend.
Sam Perkins.
Ooh. Earl the Goat Manigault. Dunking legend, playground legend.
How about Ricky Pierce?
Oh, Ricky Pierce. Deadeye Ricky Pierce. Chris Birdman Anderson, tattoo legend, Nuggets legend.
As soon as you said you're doing animals, I started trying to come up with all the names in my head of who you're going to do. I'm excited to see where this goes. Alfonso Ford. Who's next? Who's the next animal?
See, now we're running out. We're running out of animals. But Larry Bird.
Oh, wow.
Larry Bird.
Good one. Michael Cage.
Don't do
one more. Give us one more. Give us one more.
Don't
Give us
do
one
more. Alonzo Mourning, Zoe. There's got to be an animal out there that's the Zoe, right?